Before I begin, I'd just like to take this opportunity to apologise for all the typos in my previous review, and I honestly hope I haven't offended any Terminator fans out there. If the movies Iron Man and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids had a baby, it would probably look a lot like this. Instead of getting caught up in the logistics of movies making babies, consider the potential of merging these concepts. Sounds pretty cool, right? Unlike with most Marvel films, I was a bit apprehensive about this one at first. You see, the original director set to work on this was the incomparable Edgar Wright. Edgar who? You know, the modern auteur responsible for Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Basically one of the most creative and reliable directors working today. Yeah, well, he left the project due to creative differences with Marvel. You could say they didn't think Edgar was right. So he left and was promptly replaced by Peyton Reed. The first trailer that was released didn't really convince me either. It just didn't really show enough to grab my attention. But you know what? I'm glad it didn't, because it didn't ruin the memorably fantastic reels of joy that made up Ant-Man in 3D. Look, I get it if you're absolutely sick of seeing 3D added to everything these days. For many people, it just does two things. It makes the ticket more expensive and it makes the title longer. And yes, a lot of the time it really ain't worth it. But sometimes it actually works. So how do we know which ones actually deserve the extra cash? Please, we do reviews for a reason. As to why I'm pushing the 3D aspect of this film, it's because it really legitimately enhances one of the aspects I really love about this film. The superpowers. If you think about it, the main appeal of these superhero characters is the imaginative wish fulfillment to be found in their superhuman abilities. I would argue that this enjoyment reaches its purest form when we as an audience are treated to a well-shot, visually creative and detailed demonstration of these powers. Ant-Man did this so well that at one moment I just sat there and said, "Oh man, this is cool. This is so cool." I actually said that out loud. It was genuinely exciting. I mean, I felt like a kid again. Speaking of kids, this is probably the most child-friendly Marvel Cinematic Universe film yet. I'd go as far as to recommend to you parents out there, take your kids to this one. I mean, if Inside Out's not on, of course. There are a few violent moments and a couple of uses of the yes word, but apart from that, it's fairly tame. As far as the aspects I haven't touched on yet, the acting is good, the characters are fairly memorable, and there's a lot of great humour in it. Just like Avengers and Guardians before it, it retains the comic in comic book movie. It really seems to be something Marvel is getting right. One aspect I think it actually improves upon other Marvel films is the stakes. Instead of making them bigger, the whole world threat scenario is reduced and made more immediately personal. Kind of fitting for a film about shrinking. It was a wise move that made the film so much more refreshing because of it. If you've been following my reviews closely, you'll know how much I raved about this year's other Marvel film, Avengers 2. The fact that I don't actually know whether or not I prefer Ant-Man is a true testament to what an amazing experience it was. In case you missed that, I just said, an amazing experience. Have you seen Ant-Man yet? Was your experience as awesome as mine? As always, please like and leave a comment in the comment section below.